All right, guys, it's time for a little booty boot show and tell. I'm going to show you and tell you about wading boots and what wading boots I wear and why I wear the boots I wear. You know, this is a good story, and it's really applicable right now because I've got a lot of friends that are fly fishing in Oklahoma, including some veterans that I work with. And so let me run you through the boots. Get the boots, get out your boots. Okay, guys, so back in the day when I was in college, I spent years working selling shoes. And so maybe I developed a fetish for shoes, maybe not. Regardless, what we're here to talk about today is how to fit your wading boots in the store before you buy them. That's number one. And number two is, which sole do you want for your best possible traction wherever you are when you go wade fishing, hopefully wade fly fishing. Okay. So, starting at the very beginning, the first thing you want to do, folks, guys, men, we know women do this already. Get out your nail clippers and clip those toenails down, because you're going to gain some room just by having those toenails properly trimmed. Do it. Okay. That out of the way. Wear the socks you're going to wear the thickness of neoprene boots you're going to wear, booties, the neoprene. Make sure everything, if you have to take your waders, take your waders. You'd rather have them fit than have to go back, right? I know it's kind of weird to take that stuff in the store, but generally they understand. You're going into a sporting goods store, right? Okay, so you get in the store, you got lots of choices. Basically, the choices you have are in the outsole, whether you want BOAs, which are those click tighteners that they have now, or laces. And always, I mean, generally for me, always high tops. So, I don't own any felts anymore, but the felt sole is literally just like it sounds. It's made out of felt, and it's a sole that was very, very popular for many, many decades for slick rock. And this is what a felt sole looks like. This is not mine. This is built into a pair of waders, but that's a felt sole right there. And this one does not have the ability to put spikes in it, but felt is good for like Colorado streams. It doesn't leave, if you don't put spikes in it, it doesn't leave scratch marks on the rocks, and it's very non-invasive. However, back during the Didymo outbreak that we had so badly in the early, like, I guess 2013, something like that, it just really got bad. There's a big conversion in the industry, and there's a way to sell boots that they switched to rubber, right? They got, I mean, rubber wasn't even a thing until Didymo outbreak, and then rubber was everywhere, and then they started evolving the rubber sole to be better, and basically, the felt took a back seat to all that. So this is the felt. We're talking, when I would wear, I don't own felts because I don't go to places. I buy boots for places I go because they're so expensive. So for me, I don't go to Colorado. Felts would be good if you live in Texas and you fish in Oklahoma. Felt with spikes. Felt with spikes for Blue River. It's pretty good. And for Beaver's Bend Broken Bow, and especially for Beaver's Bend Broken Bow. However, it's a close call between that and these boots, which are super heavy. I've had these many years. I take good care of my boots. I've had them a long time. So these are rubber sole Vibram. Vibram's good stuff. When you see a Vibram brand, take it from a Shoe Salesman. Vibram is good stuff. And then these spikes are a little bit rusty, but it has also put spikes in the bottom. Spikes cost extra. You have to screw them in yourself usually, and they provide a lot of extra, very good traction. And bonus, here's the bonus on that. That makes these boots very good for jetties and rock hopping, anywhere you want to rock hop. Better for mud, okay? You get mud in the bottom of these are not mud. These are not for mud because it just turns as slick as the mud. It absorbs all that fine sand and mud, and it just becomes mud on mud. Terrible, terrible choice. Felt bottoms for you guys that are doing the soggy bottom boy stuff and all that. You do not want those. But these guys would do just fine. Very expensive, but over time, let's just say you pay $300 for these, okay? You're gonna get 10 years out of them. That's $30 a year, and that's the only logical way to look at something like this, is a 10-year investment, because otherwise it just doesn't make sense. And I don't think there's anybody I know out there that fishes enough to wear a pair of these out in one single year. Okay, so that's those. Those are good for the rubber Vibram sole and rubber soles with spikes. Very good for broken bow. Very good for Blue River. Very good for muddy situations. As good as you can get. Not that great. When you get in this slick mud around here, it's a one-way ticket to the water. Okay. Next type of boot that I have. This is the Ultralight sandy bottom and not too sticky muddy bottom. This is a boot I carry in my skiff usually if I have to get out and push or walk, if I need them. This is a Sims. It's a real simple boot, you know, with a neoprene upper. Usually I wear it without any socks or anything. Heat of the summer. These are the ones that you can wear out on the sand, keep in your boat for when you get stranded or stuck or whatever, or just want to get out and walk. Those are great. Very inexpensive. Worth having just because they're so cheap. The next weight up from that, and here we're still, for me, more in the salt, more into walk and wade here, but these do suck in some mud, so then they get very, very slick as well. So really for the sand and salt. And these are called, I think, the flat sneakers by Sims. Of course, you saw the repair job I did on these. I like them so much, I fixed them. And you know, of course, nothing's as cheap as it was, but these are still a pretty good bargain on the price on these. These are spikeable too, but I don't spike these because I want to be able to get on and off the boat without spiking up my boat and scratching the boat and all that stuff. So no spikes. They are good on the jetties, but not great. Neither, and the other the sand booties, they're okay on the jetties, but they're not great either. One other thing you want to try to find for your accessories to go with all this is you want to find some of these guys right here. And what these are, this is made by Hodgman. And there's a new company out, not new, it's an old company I just found called Paramount. And I've been looking at their boots and they look like they're really reasonably priced. Okay, here's how these work. You're getting ready, you got your socks on, all that stuff, you got your pants on, you're getting ready to put your waders on. Okay, so what you do is you go around here like this and do this right here. That'll hold your pant legs down when you slide on your waders. And your pants don't get all bunched up on your knees or anything like that. So that's what these are great for. I have a couple of these. I lose them and I find them. And I lose them and I find them. But these are great. And I've had these for at least 10 years. Somebody needs, if they don't still make these, somebody needs, I'm going to have to start making these. If they don't still make these are great. So that's that. Now the one thing that I wanted to say is that this is subjective to you and the fit. You know, if anything, don't make them fit tight. Let them fit loosely, more loosely, your boots. So for me, a 9 means that I'm 8.5, 9 approximately. So this is a size 10. Because when I put everything on, and this is the boot I wear with almost everything on, I need that space, okay? Another thing, when you are getting ready putting your waders on and everything. A pair of oversized Crocs is great to walk around in with just your waders on and no boots on. That's a real simple way to do it. They don't weigh anything, the Crocs don't, and they don't cost hardly anything either. It's just something to wear around, maybe after you've been wading fishing or before, and just to be able to walk around and don't walk on the gravel or the dirt or anything with just your booties hitting the neoprene booties hitting the ground. Don't do that. Very important that when you first, even if the boot fits you perfectly in the store, what happens is when it gets wet, it dries. When it dries back into a different shape than when it was brand new. So what you have to do pretty quickly, it's going to feel weird and tight first, sometimes, depending on your fit. Get them wet. As soon as you get them wet, they'll fall back into a soft shape, and then you can walk all day. Weight is a factor. These are pretty heavy. And let me tell you the next pair of boots I'm going to get, okay? I'll put a picture and a link to them down in the description. It's a company that I have a partnership with, Sims, and I want to try a new pair of these BOA tighteners on boots, because the thing with those is if you're older and you have trouble with balance, leaning over is a pain in the ass, okay? So when you lean over and you stand up, you get dizzy, right? Some of you do, I don't, but I can if I'm leaning way over for a long period of time trying to tie my shoelace. So the BOA, you just take it, you hit that clicker a couple, 3 times, and you're done. I saw a guy put these on over at Blue River the other day. I was like, okay, I got to have a pair, because it's just so simple. You just sit down, tick, 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 and you're done. How can you go wrong? Remember, guys, when you invest in your boots, that it costs money. You can spend anything from $50 to nowadays $500 on boots. Generally speaking, you get what you pay for, and that's the way I feel about it. Now, if you factor it out over 1 year and 1 payment, you're going to be disappointed over the long haul, but really the truth is you factor the cost of your boots out over the number of years they last, okay? So if you got a pair of $200 boots that last 5 years, that's $20 a year. I don't know, man, I'm not a mathematician, but it's cheap, okay? Boots are cheap. Compared to green fees, boots are cheap, okay? So get yourself a better pair of boots than you think you need. That's I really strongly believe that. Just go 1 notch better and you'll probably be happier in the long run. Remember those spikes that you get generally in the Sims brand? You have to buy those separately and install those yourself. They're not advised to install and remove them more than twice, maybe 3 times, but they're not threaded into the boot, so that means that every time you undo it, it jacks with the threading that you created in that boot, and they'll get looser and looser, and then you'll start to lose spikes, and we don't want spikes laying around all over the place in beautiful, pristine settings. That's my spiel on wading boots. I hope you like it. I hope you watched it all. Let me know if you have any questions about wading boots. I can probably answer those since I'm such a boot and shoe geek over 40 years now. And if you find any resources, let me know for good deals on different brands. I might even end up trying some Chinese brands off of Amazon just to see how those work and see if they'll hold up. But I'm really digging the BOA tightener. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.